Okay, Glasgow Kiss video lesson part 1. A couple things about the song. Most of it's in E mixolydian, and the chord that not maybe the whole song, but the main riff, the intro part, and the subsequent interludes between leads are based around the E sustained 2 chord, which is like an E sustained or A sustained 2 moved up 7 frets with the bar with your index finger. So it looks like this, and it sounds like that. We'll start with assigning fingers to notes for the intro. Use your index finger for 7 on the A string, ring finger for 9 on the D string, pinky for 9 on the G string, and index again for 7 on the B string. So just okay, so those are 4 of the notes. Those are only 4 notes we're going to use for the next couple of minutes. And then there's a picking motion we have to go through that's pretty important to the flow of the song. It's a lot like sweep picking. If you can do it though without doing this motion, go ahead, just make sure it's fluid, because if it's not fluid, that's kind of ruins the song. What the hell is calling me? Anyway, the motion is more of a wrist sweep with your pick angled up, kind of at your pointing at your your midsection or your chest, and then it's a very fluid motion at the wrist. There's no finger action or anything like that. So it's not. See the difference? If you can keep your pick moving at the same speed through the whole thing, it makes it a lot easier than trying to pick each note like that. So that's using that motion, and that's picking each one. And after playing it for a long time, I've been able to do it both ways. But it's easier if you use mostly your wrist and not your fingers. So use your wrist in kind of a sweeping motion. And for the first note, it doesn't really matter, but I like to start with an upstroke because I don't really know why. It just feels more natural to me to do upstroke and then all downstrokes. Alright, so this is how it's going to go. Remember to keep your picking motion right. Do this very slowly at first and build up your speed until you get it right. So start with your first finger, your index finger on the 7th fret A string, ring finger on the 9th, pinky on the 9th on the G, then index on the B string. So that's how the first 4 notes of the song, just that. Just so you can hear it and see it. And here it is a little bit more slowly. And play each note individually. After you play the first note, take your finger off before you play the next one. They shouldn't be. You shouldn't hear all the notes at the same time. It's just one note at a time, and that's why the wrist motion is important. All right. So after you get that down, those first 4, it doesn't take very much because it's a pretty slow arpeggio. But after that, so we get there, the next 2 notes are, and then the same 2 notes you played with your ring and your pinky, but they're in reverse. And this time, if you want to use the same fingers, that's fine. But what I do, so you could do this, but for me, it's easier to just use my ring finger. And the way I do that is I kind of, after I play this note, I bring my pick, I pick down, and I kind of use I kind of have my ring finger over that string about a half an inch, actually. So my fingertip is actually touching, and the D string is buried pretty far into my fingertip. So that after I play that, it's just a quick little motion like that to get my fingertip onto the D string. And it also helps to mute the G string so you're not playing that note. So after you play one note, you have the next one done. Or you have the next one can play by itself without having any other notes in there. And the motion for going down is the same as for going up, it's just in reverse. You're going to angle your pick, the point of your pick down, to kind of point at your hip, and you're going to use your wrist to go up. Once you get to the top of it, wrong way. Once you get to the top, angle your pick back down and go that way. Okay? That's the motion on your way down. There's only 2 notes, so it's really easy to do. But again, the picking motion is very important in this song. So, okay? So after you get that done, there's 2 more parts. There's this one. Okay, so those next 2 parts, this one and this one. That's all we're going to learn for the rest of this lesson. And so, after you get down to there, not on the 9th fret D string with your ring finger, or, well, with your ring finger, you're going to skip strings, go up to the B string, on the 10th fret with your pinky, and then 7 with your index finger. Your index finger's on the 7th fret a lot in this song. And then go back to the 9th fret with the ring finger. Back to the 7th again. And then do this little number again. Or okay? That's that part. And then so after you do this, move your hand down a little bit, middle finger on the 7th fret G string, and then go down strings to the 9th fret with your pinky, then middle finger again on the 7th on the D string. Once you're on the 7th, go back up, and then back up again to the 6th. You can hammer on, pull off, whatever you want to do, just make sure it's in the right time. You can pick every note. I don't like to hammer on once. Right there. I mean, I sometimes do a pull off, hammer on, pull off. Okay, so those are the 2 parts, and we'll see you in part 2.